Davis, and I am the State Prevention Program Specialist for Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Okay. How did the MAD organization get started?
Mothers Against Drunk Driving got started by a woman named Candace Laner, whose daughter Carrie was killed by somebody who had had repeat DUIs in their background. And she started it with two other mothers, and so that's how we got our name. And we started in 1980, so we've been around for almost 30 years now. Ever since Candace started it in 1980, our purpose has been to prevent drunk driving, and then we added supporting victim as well, and in 1999 we added preventing underage drinking. So we're kind of a three-pronged approach to alcohol issues.
I think we both thought about that a whole bunch. There wouldn't be too much they could really change.
Well, they shouldn't have gotten in the car because they were warned. They said he's been drinking. Don't get in the car with him. And I wish that both of them had, stayed. They were going to leave the party. They were at a birthday party and they were going to go to the 7-Eleven and get some more snacks and drinks and stuff. I wish they had not gotten in the car.
Right, because they said he wasn't acting intoxicated.
Right.
So you can't go on by the way they look. Even if they've had one drink, don't get in the car.
Right.
Call your parents, call a friend, call somebody safe.
Right. Yes.
It's so much easier to make that phone call than putting your parents through like what we've been through and our whole family and friends have been through. It's such a community. I never realized what a community, it affects everybody, not just your family, your friends, the community. It affects everybody around you.
Everybody at work. I mean, my husband, where I worked, the whole place shut down for the day, and they all came to the funeral, and everybody was devastated. Cousins, aunts, you don't realize that your action is going to affect, there's 350 people at Bethy's funeral, and they were all devastated.
Crystal's friends told me, one of the guys told me that he had only seen him have two beers all night. So there were so many conflicting stories. Now he was definitely intoxicated. I don't remember all the numbers. Yes.
Yeah, and he'd been doing some drugs that they probably didn't know had something. Mm-hmm. They might not have known the severity of it. But if you go to a party, don't get in the car with anybody, because if you don't know, maybe they didn't know how much he'd had to drink, or that the mixture of the alcohol with, marijuana, or I think did some speed or something, that is going to completely, he walked and talked probably normally, but he couldn't judge distance or speed. Because it gets harder as you're in high school. You want to do what your friends do. And just because everybody else is getting in the car with somebody who's been at the party drinking, I don't care if you're the only one and you feel really dumb. You go, and maybe that day there isn't an accident, but somewhere down the road, it's going to have that one time of getting into the car, because all it takes is one time, a wrong decision, one time, and they're paying for it. I mean, they're in a cemetery. They didn't think they were going to die that night.